Have you ever looked at some businesses and wondered how they just explode, while others, putting in the exact same grind, just seem to fizzle out? Well, the secret isn't about working harder. It's about building smarter. So let's dive into the playbook for turning that small hustle of yours into a major business.
You know, this quote just completely flips the script on that whole hustle culture thing. The goal isn't just to put in more hours, it's about getting more leverage. It's all about having a smarter framework for growth, and that is exactly what we're going to break down right now.
Okay, here is our roadmap. We're going to start with the big picture, the market you play in. Then we'll get into leadership, marketing, and your actual product. And we'll wrap up with the one thing most businesses totally overlook, but it's where the real profit is hiding. Let's jump in. First up, and this is arguably the most important decision you will ever make, the market you decide to compete in. This is all about choosing your battlefield wisely before you even start the fight.
Now check this out. The effort in both of these scenarios is identical, 100% grind. We're talking the same late nights, the same hustle, but the potential payoff in the big canvas is literally 10 times greater than in the small pond. The takeaway here is so simple. If the effort is the same, why wouldn't you play in the arena with the biggest possible prize? You've got to choose the big canvas.
So how do you actually paint on that big canvas? Well, it all starts with this three-part strategy. We just talked about going big. Next, you have to be uniquely useful. That means finding an edge that nobody else can easily copy. And finally, you execute it all using something called capital Jiu-Jitsu.
And here's what capital Jiu-Jitsu looks like in action. The idea is, don't go sink all your cash into building a factory right away. No way. Instead, use a pretty small, lean investment to run micro-trials and just prove the concept. Outsource the production. Once you have actual proof that people want what you're selling, then you go find the big money to scale. It's all about leverage, not brute force.
So, you've got the right strategy. That's great. But a brilliant idea is worthless without the right people to execute it. This next part is all about building the human engine of your business, your team, and just as importantly, your leadership.
The goal here is really simple. You want people who feel like they are owners of the business, not just renters punching a clock. So how do you do that? First, you have to narrate their impact. Don't just say good job. Publicly tell the story of what they did and how it actually mattered. And second, celebrate milestones and do it visibly. It's not childish, it's how you build culture, because people will fight to defend something they are genuinely proud of building.
Okay, so your team is fired up and ready to go. But what about you, the leader? Let's be real, every business journey is filled with storms. Panic is easy, but it's not effective. So, how do you stay steady and lead your team through the chaos? You're going to need a framework.
This right here, this is the framework for leading through that chaos. Being a calm operator starts when you detach just enough to see the whole chessboard, not just the crisis right in front of you. You use wisdom over impulse, and you influence outcomes instead of wrestling with them. From there, it's all about building momentum, stacking small wins, choosing courage to take on the next fight, and ultimately, holding on to the value you create. This is your leadership superpower.
All right, so we have our big market and our calm, ownership-driven team. Now, how do we actually sell this thing? This section is all about marketing, but with a pretty major twist. It's not about features, it's about belief.
This is it. This is the absolute core of modern marketing. Perception is what sets the price. You could have the best product in the entire world, but if people don't believe in its value, it's just not going to sell. Your job isn't just to make a great product, it's to design the belief around it.
So how do you build that belief? Well, you can pull one of two really powerful levers. You can tap into fear and avoidance by solving a specific nagging pain point. Think of a product that prevents a messy stain. Or you can tap into hope and aspiration by selling a better future, a brand that promises health through, say, ancient wisdom and modern science. Both of these are incredibly effective. You just have to choose the right one for your story.
Okay, let's get tangible now. We've covered strategy, people, and the story. Now it's time to talk about the product itself and, just as crucially, where you're actually going to sell it.
You know, every great product has something called volatile magic. It's that core, non-copyable value that makes you truly different. Take this example, wet ground spices versus dry powders. The oil in the wet paste captures the aroma, delivering a fundamentally fresher, better flavor. That's not just a feature, it's a protected, better experience. Your job is to find your version of that.
A great product is totally useless if it's in the wrong place.
This is the channel math every single founder needs to understand. You'll get your best profit margins in general trade, but it's really hard to get shelf space for a new product there. Big retail stores? They're great for awareness and trials, but they will squeeze your margins hard. And while quick commerce is amazing for targeted launches, you can burn through cash on ads so fast. The point is, there's no single right answer. It's always a strategic trade-off.
And now for our final section. And honestly, this is the one so many founders get completely wrong. They focus all their energy on getting new customers, but the real secret to sustainable profit, well, it lies somewhere else entirely.
This number right here might be the most important one in your entire business. So, in one gym's case, they found that when a member visited 12 times a month, their chance of quitting just plummeted. The principle is universal. Every business has a magic frequency, a number of uses that totally locks a customer in. Your entire goal should be to discover what that number is and then engineer your whole experience around hitting it.
And this is why that magic number is so critical. Look at this. Acquiring new customers is a constant, expensive grind. The real sustainable profit, the kind that builds lasting businesses, comes from keeping the customers you already have. Retention isn't just another metric. It's your primary profit engine.
So, to bring this all together, think of your business like a classic car race. Your marketing? That's the slick paint job and the sound system that gets everyone's attention. Your product innovation is the powerful engine that actually wins the race. And your company culture? That's your elite pit crew. Without them, you are not finishing a single lap. All three have to work in perfect harmony. We've covered a full playbook here, from strategy and leadership to product and retention. But the goal of this whole explainer isn't just for you to know this stuff, it's for you to do it. So the question I want to leave you with is simple. Which one of these levers will you pull in your business this week?